Hello everyone, it's Shauna coming to you live from her craft room in Edmond, Oklahoma. Today is April 26th, Saturday. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. If you guys are scrolling through Facebook world and you happen to see me on, if you see the red live button over in the left hand corner, you've caught me. Stop by, say hi. If you don't see that little red live button, then you're watching a replay. Just comment replay and hi to me in the comments and I'll know that you stopped by and watched. So let me make sure I'm in the right spot, that I'm where I need to be. I'll be honest with you, I've been a little off kilter just because my day is not going as planned. You know, we have an idea of what's going to happen over our weekend, and that is not what's happening. So it's throwing me off. Let me make sure you can hear me. Give me just a moment. I'm in the right spot. So yep, you can hear me. And I'm turned the right way. So that's all great. Let me get this mouse pad out of the way. I hope you guys are having a fabulous Saturday. Like I said, things are not going like I thought they were, but that's okay. I can adjust, I think. There are lots to talk about today, exciting things to talk about. The new annual catalog, it's coming out. We have what? A little over a week. I keep thinking that it's going to come out this coming week, but it's really the next week. It's May 6th. Hey, Mom. How are you? So we're going to talk about the new products that are coming out on May 6th. And not only is our new annual catalog going live, but we have a whole bunch of online exclusives that are dropping that same day. And I'll be honest with you, Stampin' Up, I'm loving more of the online exclusives than I am the catalog stuff. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I don't know if it's because it's more in my gear house, it's more current. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I'll be honest with you, as I was going through and organizing and trying to figure out what was from the catalog, what was from the online exclusive, I ordered more off of the online exclusives. So, anywho, May 6th, I will be able to show you the inside of this catalog. For right now, I can only show you the cover and the back. So, front cover and the back cover. That's all you get from me. It's so sad because I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go with the new product. It took me a little bit. Good morning. Okay. So, first, let me say, if you're in the need of the catalog, I have catalogs. They are ready to go. Just let me know. If you've ordered from me in the last 6 months, then you get a free catalog. If you have not put in an order from me, they are $3 a piece. So, but just holler at me because I've got some. All right. Quick housekeeping announcements, and I mean quick because I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. You know, I love our kits, especially the paper pumpkin kits. This is the one right now. I think it's going to be fabulous. It's going to make great masculine cards. So Father's Day is around the corner. Birthdays, of course. It's always hard for me to do masculine cards. I don't know why. I tend to lean more towards the real cutesy, girly, floral. So anytime I can get help with a masculine card, I'm all about it. The subscription date, because again, these are the paper pumpkin. This is the monthly subscription kit. You have to be subscribed by, is that right? No, by, yes, May 9th. My dates are off. I'm like, what? Okay. So, or May 10th, not May 9th. I always say the day before just in case, but as long as you're subscribed by May 10th, then you'll get this one. So, and then the next one, again, we only get sneak peeks. We don't get to see exactly what's in each and every one of them. But the next one I'm excited about too, and it's called Full of Charm. It kind of looks like a stained glass look to me, but pretty watercolor florals, and it looks like it's got some copper in it. Again, these are sneak peeks. This is the only sneak peeks. This is all I know, and that it comes with some dies. It doesn't come with it. You can add on the dies if you want. You have to put in item number 166238, and this die coordinates with the May for the masculine. This one coordinates for next month for June, and this is the die that coordinated for last month's April. Speaking of last month's, it was the inked occasions. We used to have a stamp set that looked like this. I pulled it out last week. Does come wrapped in some pretty tissue paper. I have not played with this yet, but love those bright bold colors. Comes with a stamp set. There is a unboxing video on my Facebook from a few days ago if you want to go back and look. It comes with Berry Burst, which is a beautiful bright color. Look at the envelopes. So pretty. They're just white on the inside. Some dimensionals, some little things to stamp on. Check these out. I'm going to sniffle, sorry. Look at those. These are just laser cut. You just punch these out. Of course, they're delicate, so be careful, but they're already you just got to pop them out. But look at that. Let me see if I can let me grab this tissue paper. Maybe that'll help. There we go. Is that not gorgeous? I can already see bridge cards in my head. And again, you know, I can't make these cards like I'm supposed to. I have to alternate, you know, make alternatives. But here's one. Of course, I would cut this because this is a front and a back of a card. You would just fold it over and make your card like this. No, I'll be using this piece and this piece. I always get at least double from these kits. Here's the other one. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That would have made some great Easter cards. These are really bold and bright. These are more subtle, kind of a pastel look. And then the other one, you normally get 3 of each, makes 3 different cards, 3 different designs. Here's the other one. It has the bright colors like this one, but it doesn't have the gold in it. I can already tell you though, I'm going to be cutting this in half and then these in half, because I don't know, it just, as soon as I look at this, this is what I see. So I can see myself putting this on either some Berry Burst, some Gorgeous Grapes, some Peach Pie, and stamping a little sentiment, putting some ribbon on it, and just being done. I mean, anyway, very excited. Have not had the chance yet to really dive into it, but I did open it because I couldn't wait, because I have no patience at all. But very excited. And again, these are the 3 cards that it's supposed to make, but my brain's already swimming with ideas. So enough about Paper Pumpkin. Okay, I have a lot of ground to cover. This is probably going to last more than an hour, so again, I didn't want to spend too much time on housekeeping. I want to get to the meat of things. So first of all, let me tell you, I'm going to show some tips and tricks of how I organize stuff when I first get new product. And if you have not seen my room tour from a year ago, a year and a half ago. It's on my YouTube channel. I'll try to link it maybe below today's Facebook Live. I really need to do a new one. Just because I've moved some things around. You know, your craft room is always changing depending on how you use it. So some things have changed. I've added things. I've moved things. Not a whole lot. I mean, it's still, if you go back to look at that video, you'll know what I'm talking about in today's video. But I might do a new one just to show you how the craft room has changed and evolved. So, trying to think, let's start with end colors. Okay, so every year we get 5 end colors is what we call them, and they stay for 2 years. And so like this will stay for this year and next year. Now next year we will get another new 5 end colors because our current end colors right now are going to go out. So every year we've got 5 that leave, 5 that come. So these are our new 5. And we could order, of course, pre-order, because I'm a demonstrator. So we can get our hands on this stuff a month early. I shared some stuff about a month ago on my Facebook page. That's, if you're wanting to see what's going on in the Stampin' Up! World, my Facebook page is the best place. Because I try to post everything, all the new stuff. So we could order the paper, the Stampin' Right markers, and the inks. And you'll notice, we'll talk about the elephant in the room, we're missing an ink pad. Yep, there's usually 5. We're missing one. There's a reason. Okay, so this is Darling Duckling. And here's the paper. It's a very nice, bright, bold yellow. Now we do have other yellows, and I will be honest. So here's Daffodil Delight. This has a little bit more of a green to it. And then we also have, currently, Lemon Lolly, which you can tell is very different. It's very light and bright, or light and subtle. And then we also have Crushed Curry. Okay, these are our yellow choices right now, and that's more of a mustardy. So this is the new Darling Duck. This is the Daffodil Delight. This is my favorite right now. I'm not a yellow person, but if I had to reach for yellow, it's probably going to be the Daffodil Delight. Okay. We'll see. The Darling Duck may find a way into my heart, but right now it kind of reminds me, if you guys have been with Stampin' Up! For very long, the, what was it called? Starfruit? I can't remember what it was from it's been a while. Anyway, it's got more of a green color. You don't notice it when it's up against these colors, but if I were to pair it with a green, yeah. Okay, so there's Darling Duckling. This is Timid Tiger. I really, I like this color. And I'm not a huge orange person either, but I could see myself gravitating and pulling for this. It's very pretty. Right now, as far as oranges go, we have our wonderful one that's been around forever, Pumpkin Pie. But you can see, way brighter, way bolder. The only other orange that it's not really even orange, it's Peach Pie. Let me grab a piece just so you guys can see in comparison. The camera can't even, that kind of doesn't even look orange, but there is an orange hue to it. And And then Calypso Coral, maybe. So we needed a good orange. I'm glad to see it. And I'll be honest, I don't reach for orange a lot. I do around the fall, and I love the pumpkin pie. It's been around for years. I don't think it's going anywhere. I say that, watch Stampin' Up teach me a lesson. But I could see myself gravitating towards orange more now that we have a little bit of a lighter, softer, subtle color. So I'm liking that orange. Strawberry Slush we've had. Glad it's returning. It's a very pretty pink. You know I love pink. Right now, of course, we have our Melon Mambo, which is a little brighter and bolder. We have Bubble Bath, which is very, very light. This is probably gonna look white. That's a light pink. We have Berry Burst, which is a very dark berry color. But look how well those three colors go together. They play very nicely with each other. And that's really, other than the in color right now of Petal Pink. Is that what it is? I believe. And again, they all play very nice together. So it's nice to have a little bit of, still a bright pink, but a little softer. Not as bold. So, Strawberry Slush was a fan favorite when it was here before. And, you know, one of these days it might actually stay in our wheelhouse. I wouldn't be surprised. I have not unwrapped this one. You'll see it's still in its thing. I want to show you some tips and tricks on that. Cloud cover. Oh, let's do this. Secret Sea. This is not black. I know it looks it, but it is not black. Let me, if I can find my black. Where are my black? Here it is. That's the black. It is a very dark navy blue. I think it's going to make some great nautical cards. We don't really have anything like it. Here is Night of Navy up against it. And that's our darkest blue. So love that color. I think I will use it quite a bit. And I love it with the new cloud cover. This is like a baby blue. And the reason why we don't have our ink pads is because when our ink pads first came out, they were off. And Stampin' Up! Did not like that. And I'm glad that they stand behind what they make, you know, because their ribbon coordinates, their embellishments coordinate, their markers, their blends, the ink pads, the paper, it all goes together. So when you're stamping something and it's supposed to be this pretty cloud cover, it wasn't. It was coming out with more of a gray hue, which it does have a gray undertone in it. I was trying to think if we even have anything similar, but we don't because, okay, here's a gray. That is gray granite. And then if I look at our blues, here is our, oh, what is this? This is Balmy Blue. So it's an in-between. It's a bluish gray. And of course our pool party, which has a little bit of blue in it, has some green in it. So it's not, here's some pool party. Anyway, I think there are 5 great new in colors. And I love them all, especially together. And usually when our in colors come out, like these 2 might work together and then these 3 might look really well together. These all 5 really work well together. And you're going to see some of our new DSP, Designer Series paper, our pattern paper, all have all the colors in them. And so these are going to be fun to use. It's always great to get the new colors. I'm going to put those off to the side and I'm going to show you here in a second. Maybe we'll actually do it. Let's do it now. We were talking about ink, so let me show you on the ink pads, especially if some of you guys have never ordered from Stampin' Up before. So when you get your ink pads, and usually when you get the bundle of 5, when there are 5, let me reach across my desk, sorry. You can get a discount. Well, we didn't have the group of 5 because they pulled that one color. They're trying to correct it. Hopefully it will come out eventually, but we have not heard. Okay, so each one of these come in plastic wrap. So take this off the wrapper. When you're opening up our pad, let me get you, okay, so the new pads, you just pull open and you push in. Or when you close it, you pull out and you flip over. It's good to store your ink pads upside down. That keeps the ink towards the top of the pad. So when you're ready to go and stamp, it's right there. I'm just going to grab one of our old ink pads. You would push in and then flip over and then push. So if you have some of our old ones, the new ones are a little bit different. So again, you just pull up, push in. So, okay. On the back, you have these little stickers. So I always just grab my little, take a pick tool or your little pointy tool, whatever you have, and take that off. This top one right here. And these aren't like stickers, these are more like window clings. I always put one right here at the bottom. Let me see if I can get this to work. I'm on video, you guys are making me nervous. So you put your little color strip right there. And okay, see, this is what drives me crazy, and I'm gonna sit here and drive you guys nuts with it. Give me a second. I'm on the struggle bus today, apparently. This is why I don't do things live for you guys. I'm gonna take my little tweezers. My hands are not steady enough today. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to take this one that does not have a word on it. These are, I think that's French, German. Actually, I'll take this one that does have the name. So you get 2 English ones. And I'm going to open this. And then I'm going to put this other one right in this slot right here. They've left this little, I'm gonna call it a well. Where's my little pokey tool? It rolled off. Actually, let me grab my tweezers. And I'm gonna stick that there, and I'm gonna take this and just rub that in there. That way, when you have your ink pad open, you know, like say if I had 4 or 5 of these opened, if there was this strawberry slush and say a red, I wouldn't get these mixed. I would know which one is which. So it's good to have a little label inside and then a little label on your outside. So, all right, that's what I do to my ink pads. And then if you go watch my video, you'll see, like I said, how I store my stuff. And I might today, later on, do another little walk around my room, an update. We'll see. I make no promises. We'll see. Okay. The next thing, and I'm going to start with the catalog releases first, and then I'll do the online exclusives. But okay, so when you can buy things different ways. So some of our stuff comes in what we call bundles, where there's a stamp and a die. And I keep those together. So I have not done this one yet, because I kind of wanted to walk through it with you. This is on page 49 of our new catalog. But so cute. Hope your birthday is totally awesome. Here for you always. It's okay to take it slow. Sweet friend. Hooray. Of course, there is dies that cut these little guys out. But really the star of the show is the paper. And the paper is the whole reason why I bought the stamp and the die, to be honest. But you'll understand here in a second. Okay, so when I get a new one, I get from Lowe's or Home Depot, I'm sure any hardware store, Ace has these. These are magnetic vent covers. These come in a 3-pack. And I've already done most of mine, so, but they're long sheets like this. There's 3 of these in this package. And I want to say that they're $9, $8. I buy several of them at a time, but they're not expensive at all, especially when you can get 3 of these out of one. So I can get 9 of these out of one package. I'm going to take my trimmer, and this is not my Stampin' Up trimmer. I would never do that to my Stampin' Up trimmer. This is just a Carl, old, all the stickers and everything have fallen off of this trimmer. I love this trimmer. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to do it right underneath 5, like an 1/8 of an inch or a 1/16 of an inch under 5 inches. And then a 1/16 or an 1/8 inch under 7. Our stamps, so you're throwing away this little piece right here. If you had something to use this for, you could definitely, but I don't. And I used to keep those, and I had a ton of them, and so I don't need to keep any more. But these come in DVD cases, and so a 5x7 fits in here nicely. And I just lay this in here. I don't glue it down. I don't, nothing. I just stick it in there. And then I use this to put my dies on, and I'll show you the dies here in a second. These are the clear photopolymer stamps. And what I do, Stampin' Up has, they did not do this years ago. So I love this because this will let you know if you're missing a stamp. And if you loan out your stamps to somebody, it's very important that when you get them back, you check and make sure that they're all there. And with the image on this. This is just the little sheet, you know, that's got the thing on it that Stampin' Up puts on there. So it's just the inside of it. But I go ahead and I take off all my little stamps. And this is a very thin piece. That was the backing, and this is a thicker piece. I save the thicker piece. I don't worry about the flimsy one. But I just go ahead and I unmount all of them from this hard backer sheet, and I put them right on top. And again, this is what I do. It makes me stay organized. It lets me know if I don't have all my stamps, because there'd be an empty space where there's supposed to be a stamp. I cannot wait to show you guys this paper. I'm not a huge turtle person. My daughter is. My daughter loves turtles. But they were just too cute. And the paper, yeah. Okay. So once you've done that, then I take this thick sheet and I just put it on top just to kind of, excuse me, protect my stamps, because then I put my dies over here. So when I close them, my dies are not cutting into my stamps. The dies come in something called, or that looks like this, a little sleeve. And I take this little piece right here, I just stick in the back right on top of this. And then this piece that holds these dies on, this is why I use the magnetic sheets. This just has a little piece of two-sided sticky tape. And so I just like to go ahead and just pull these off and stick these in here. So let me do that real quick. Most of these I've already done. I just wanted to show you kind of what I do when I get new stamps, new dies. And again, go back and watch my room tour video. And I'll try to do an updated one maybe later today, because I have changed some things. I'm always evolving. But you can see as you're taking these off, this piece of paper that they're on, it's not a very thick piece of paper. And then the more you use this sticky tape, when you go back to put things on time and time again and you use them, this becomes less sticky, and then your dies are falling off. I just trash this, keep it like this, and then I store them. And a lot of you guys know this part if you've been around for a while. I have these clear acrylic bins. And I'll have to let you know. I used to have one. The one I would use, I would keep the label on. Let me see. I'm going to have to pull one and see if I can find the label. I know there are different makers, but I use these to keep myself kind of, I label them new. I've got one labeled current. I have one labeled last chance. And I work out of these bins until something retires, and then it goes on my stamp shelf. And my stamp shelf is organized by sentiments and then holidays. So Valentine's, Easter. I have categories. I do spring, and then I do food, and then I do general, which is just like everyday stuff, and then I do florals and beaches and scenes, and then Father's Day, Mother's Day. And it's just whatever works best for you, but that's how my brain thinks. And because I scrapbook, I tend to scrapbook that way. And so a lot of my room is broken down that way. Okay. So, Shauna, what do you do with these envelopes? Do you throw these away? No. No. I cut these flaps off. Why, Shauna? Why do you cut these flaps off? Because eventually, sometimes, let me show you for instance, and you'll see this one a little bit later, but like an online exclusive, I have the dies, but I don't have the stamp. And so if a stamp, well, I'm trying to figure out the way to word this. If I get a die set and it coordinates with a stamp, but just so, and especially more of like my, I'm going to call them frames or scenes, things that I might use over and over and not necessarily the stamp set. For instance, something like this. These were some Radiating Stitches dies. Darling Detail. Anything like this that I could use over and over and use just like not even with a stamp set. Florals in particular, I don't store with my stamp because I kind of forget about them if they're with the stamp, because I only tend to pull them out and use them if I'm using that stamp if they're with the stamp. So like these, for instance, I probably would not use these dies without the stamp or the paper. So it's okay for me to store this with the stamp. But these that I would reach for over and over and over again, I just take, this is that same 5x7 magnetic sheet that I cut down to put in here. So instead of storing it with the stamp that it came with, when it hits the last chance list or if it retires, I put it in one of these, and then I have 3 of these containers right here, these plastic containers full of just dies that I reach for over and over and over and over again. And you'll see some of these, instead of them being sleeves like this, they're sleeves like this. So I have different sleeves for different things. I was trying to find, a lot of these are old. Okay, so here's the Meadow dies. This had a coordinating stamp set, but I don't really use this stamp set as much as I use these dies because I use them for scrapbooking. I tend to, if I need a floral or something to pop behind a picture or something, this is really pretty because it's got these leaves and just some pretty floral detail. So I reach for these over and over again. Therefore, I don't store them with my stamp. I store them just with my dies. I hope that makes sense. Am I just talking and just gibbering and nobody's like, what in the world? So these get stored in a different, and again, if you go to my room tour, you'll see the dies that are stored separately. Okay. So I keep these, and I have several of them ready to go, ready to use. So I don't throw anything like this away. Okay. So a little bit of tips and tricks, and that was kind of what I pulled these aside to kind of show you, like, oh, what did that belong to? I think this is the sailboat one, and I'll show it to you here in a second. But they just came on this, and I cut a magnet for it, and I put the magnet sheet in there. This was another one. So I just cut the flaps off and I saved these. Okay. Let's get to some product stuff and less tips and trick. So you saw, and I'm going to do the catalog ones kind of in order. So, and we could not, as demonstrators, order from the full catalog. We don't have access to that until May 6th, just like you guys. We had select things that we could order off of a pre-order list. So I couldn't get my hands on everything I wanted. So just, I want to make sure everybody understands that. Yes, as a demonstrator, you get early access, but not early access to everything. So, because a lot of people don't understand that. Okay, page 49 in our catalog. Where did my catalog go? You guys, I try to be so organized, and then I completely... Oh, you know what? This is not the first thing. Woo, I just about messed up. Let me go in order. Okay, so the first thing is actually on page 40. And this is Floral in Bloom Suite. Okay. Let me make sure I'm reaching for the right. Yes, okay. Now, this is a suite, which means that it comes with 2 stamps and dies. It has these beautiful new in color flat pearls. So again, Strawberry Slush, Darling Duck, Timid Tiger, Cloud Cover, and Secret Sea. These are beautiful. And when I said that a lot of these papers use a lot of all the colors, this is one of them. Also, a tip and trick on these, when you get your embellishments, they come in a, hold on. Kind of something like this, and it has sticky stuff on it. I just take it out of this packaging, and I take one of Stampin' Up's medium clear envelopes. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can buy packs of these. When I sell a card, all my cards come in one of these. But these are just some clear Stampin' Up envelopes. They're in our catalog. And they've got like this little sticky strip on it. You just pull this off, and I take these and I trim off this little sticky strip thing, and then you're just stuck, or not stuck, you're left with this little clear envelope. I also use these for shaker cards. You see me use a lot of these. It's always good to have a pack of these, and they're very cheap. But I store my pearls, my embellishments, all of my things in them when I get them. So just so you know, like these were the Riverside Irregular pearls. These were the two-toned. So I store all of my embellishments in those. Okay. Don't want to lose that. Here's a beautiful card that we made at my Stampin' Up team's meeting a couple weeks ago. And we were just playing with the new paper. This is one of the stamp and dies that you can buy with it. These are the embellishments. And just a sneak peek, here's a die off of a different set, a tag die. It's got this cute little heart in it. But I'm going to show you how our paper, when you get our designer series paper, it either comes in a 12 by 12 pack or a 6 by 6 pack. When it's a 12 by 12 pack, you get 2 sheets of each, which means there's a front and a back to each sheet. So you get really 1 sheet of each if you want to use the front and use the back. So there's the front and back of that piece. Here's the front and the back of this piece. And again, this is called Florals, what was it? Florals in Bloom. Hold on, I've forgotten already. Yeah, Florals in Bloom. So here's the front. Here's the back. When I look at this, all I think about is that turtle. I think that's going to make some cute turtle. And it's not even in the same suite. It's a whole different suite. That looks really like a yellowy green, and it's not. That's so crazy. Our paper is so much nicer in person. Front, back. There's some strawberry slush. Love it. But I love that side too. So again, you get 2 pieces of each of double-sided paper. There's the front and the back. Some cloud cover with some lines through it. So there's a total of 12 pieces, 6 different designs, front and the back. So this is one of those paper packs that has all of the end colors in it. Okay, so again, that was page 40. That is the first suite of products in our catalog. And again, I'll be able to show you the catalog. It goes live on the 6th. That is a Tuesday. I'm not sure, depending on how hard work is and how busy work is and what we've got going on, if I'll come straight home and do a walkthrough on the catalog or if I'll have to wait until that following Saturday. But I will do a walkthrough of it. Okay. Then the second thing is the turtles. And it's called Turtly Awesome. Page 48. And again, you guys are going to love this paper. The paper is what sold me. Hold on, I'm doing some juggling. Trying to not create an avalanche. Okay. So, you saw the stamps and dies. This does come with an embossing folder. I opted to not get the embossing folder. It was a little too busy for me. It may come to my house eventually, but I didn't see the need for it. So, but I did get the stamps, the dies, the ribbon, the embellishments, the paper. So, love this ribbon. And you can buy this all together at a discount, or you can buy each of the items individually. This has a pretty soft sea foam and then a garden green. I could see me using this garden green at Christmas time, but I will probably more than likely most of the time be reaching for the soft seafoam side. This has a very pretty border. Hopefully you guys can see that. I think you can. It's very soft. It's got a silky satin texture to it. It's going to be very easy to tie bows with if I can get my fingers to work. Maybe. I've got my ribbon twisted. So, anyway, it's very pretty. I'm gonna love that. These embellishments are probably my favorite embellishments out of the catalog. They are this really neat hexagon. These are called Shades of Green hexagons. There's this really dark green, like a garden green. There's, I don't know what color of green that is. This is more of like a, that might be more of like a Lost Lagoon. I bet. I betcha. It looks like a Lost Lagoon. This is like a Granny Apple green. And then this is almost clear. It's like your soft seafoam. And you've got two different sizes, a big size and a small size. I only got one pack, and I can tell you right now, this is gonna sell out. So if you want those, run, don't walk. And I probably should have gotten me more than one pack. I probably should have gotten me 2 packs, but I didn't. And I'm sure I'll regret it. Okay, so on the paper, the dies cut out these images. And you'll see why. This is the front, this is the back. I've already taken the time to flip them over, so just want to let you know. Look at the banjo playing turtle. Mom, I cannot wait to make Bop a card. A banjo playing turtle. Thank you. Yes, I will. This design, the back, is more of what the embossing folder looks like. It's got all these, looks like the back of a turtle shell. It was quite busy. I don't know. It might come to my house. We'll see. Look at these turtles. He's eating ice cream. He's riding a bike. They're going to have a picnic. See the picnic basket? He's just laying on the back of a shell, just chilling. I love the paper. That's the back side. It gets better, guys. My upline hates the turtles, and I love them. I told her, I said, Rhonda, you can borrow my stamp and die set anytime you want. Just ask. She rolled her eyes at me. Okay, I cannot wait to make a summer scrapbook page using this paper. Like Memorial Day, a cookout. That's Papa Turtle. That's Jason right there. This is me right here with my little towel on my head and around my waist and my little glass that even looks like a pina colada. See the little umbrella drink? And then you've got the kiddos in their little mask with their floaties on. Adorable, right? This is the back. What a great stripe. That would make a fun birthday, you know, just generic. Mom, are you still with me? Are you loving this paper as much as I am, or you just think I've fallen off my rocker? Here's a birthday. And again, some of these dies cut out these turtles. So here's, you know, the chef, Papa Jason made the birthday cake, He's got his hat on. Here's the little kid holding the birthday balloon. Here's the little turtle dancing. Here's a little turtle right here. He's come to the party. He's got his party hat on. He's going to give the gift. Here's just the back of it, which music notes. So that would go great with the banjo playing turtle. And then last but not least, and again, you get a front and a back of this. So there are two pieces of this. Here is the back, which is a very pretty polka dot. But you know, I cannot wait, because there's two of them. I cannot wait to cut these up, especially these four right here, and put the turtles on them and just make an easy turtle scene card. Like at the beach playing. Here they're having a picnic. Here they're just out enjoying the spring, like that turtle that was laying on his back. Can you picture him just, you know, looking at the clouds? Here's the stage for the banjo one. He's playing, you know, I love it. It was the paper that sold me on this, so I had to get the dies, of course, to cut out the turtles on the paper, which you might as well then go ahead and buy the stamp, because you might need to stamp some extra turtles. And then if I ever sell the stamp set, what good are the stamp if you don't have the dies? So you might as well get the kit and caboodle. But yes, soon you will be seeing some turtles coming to a Facebook Live near you. All right. Okay. So the next one up is Notes and Totes. This was a stamp and a die set, a bundle. And this is page 81. And I'll be honest, I didn't really care to get the stamp. It says, Newsflash, you're fabulous. Relax and enjoy. Sending warm wishes. Just a note. You've earned it. Exclusive. Made just for you. So grateful. A true story. And then it's got a couple of florals on it. Some little polka dots. The real reason why I got this was for the dies. And these dies are not going to look much to you. But they make little bags. I don't know if you've been around with Stampin' Up for very long, but we've had a couple of dies that have made purses in the past. This is more of like a little bag. A bag that you would take to a beach. It kind of reminds me of the Louis Vuitton Never Full purses. So, I always love a good treat bag, a little thing that you can put some little chocolates, some goodies in. So, of course, I had to get the dies. And once again, you might as well go ahead and get the stamp with the dies, because if you were to ever sell it later, someone's going to want the stamp. So, the last thing that I got that's in the catalog is a sentiment stamp set, and it's called The Right Words. It's on page 89. And I just needed a good sentiment stamp. So this says, but just know how much I love and care about you. I wish I had the right words for a time like this. I know a good thing when I see it, and I see a lot of good things in you. I really don't like that you're leaving, but I hope you love where you're going. Sending good vibes. You're so kind. To someone worth celebrating every single day. Thanks so much for thinking of me. Happy birthday. Hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories. My sister has a friend who's going through a tough time last night. In fact, I saw a Facebook post that she put on there yesterday, and oh, it made my heart sad. I love you, Julie. I really need to make her a card and send her a card. Anyway, thinking of you, forever loved, forever remembered, and I miss you already. So this is a great stamp set. I think I'll use it a lot over the next year. The rest of what I have are online exclusives, believe it or not. So what is that? I only have 3 stamps from the new catalog. The rest of these are online exclusives. So I'm just telling you, I'm really falling in love with our online exclusives, and the best way to see everything that's going to be available on May 6th is to go to www.stampinup.com and see it. So this one was called Scenic Adventure Dies. Of course, this comes with a stamp set. I got this more for scrapbooking. So there are some pine trees. Here's a little moon and stars that you can place and cut out. Here are some bushes or some high grass. Has a little campfire, has a couple of mountains. Here's like a border line of trees. And then what really fascinated me was this water die. So this is going to put the, let me just run it through a piece of paper and I'll show you what I mean. Hold on. Let me grab a dark piece of paper. That way it'll show up. Here's a scrap that I have of just Misty Moonlight, I think. Grab my die cut machine. I love our dies for scrapbooking. Okay. So I'm gonna hold this up close to the camera so you guys can see it. But see how it puts, it's not really cutting through the paper. It's, I mean, it does cut a little bit through the paper, but it leaves the ripple effect. And I thought, I love that. I love that you're not cutting out waves, that it's just making this ripple looking effect. So you could layer this over and over again. And there's a very pretty, I'll show you here in a second, sailboat stamp die hybrid embossing folder set that I think is going to make some beautiful Father's Day masculine cards. And I can't wait to use that water part on it. Let's run this through. This is the moon and the stars one. Sorry, I still have my Easter purpley nails on. I haven't done my nails. It cut out the moon, and then it's got all these little dots that it cut out. And you could stick a yellow piece of paper behind it and you would have all these stars. Anyway, I just thought that was a really cute use of a die set. There's another die in there that I'm gonna want to show you guys, the whole reason why I bought it. But let me, The stamp set is great. I did not get the stamp set. I wanted the dies. Hopefully I'm still alive. See, that cuts it out, but it does not. I'm loving Stampin' Up's new dies because, here, I'm gonna rip this off so that you guys can see better. I can hold it up better. But see how it makes this three-dimensional, how it cuts out portions of it, and then you can kind of bend this up right here, give it more of a 3D effect. I love that. So it's not just a die that cuts it out, it's giving it some dimension, some texture. That looks like little hills of higher grass. Anyway, love our dies. So I got that set. And then here's the, I'm gonna move this out of the way real quick so I can get my desk back. Here's the sailboat that I was talking about. This is called Sunrise Sailing Hybrid Embossing Folder and Dies. So the reason why, let me get a piece of paper so that I can stick in there and you guys can see it. Get a dark piece of paper. It'll make it a little bit easier to see. So what makes it a hybrid is that you can put the die in the embossing folder and run it through at the same time. It cuts, it embosses all at the same time. Isn't that beautiful? I can definitely see making some manly cards. Again, an online exclusive, guys. If you're not looking at the online exclusives, you're missing out. But there's the embossing folder. Here are the dies. And you can see you've got a little bitty sailboat, a medium sailboat, some clouds, some little birds. Here's some waves. But I really want to use that other wave die with it. I want to play around and see. This one right here is the one that, if I bring back over the embossing folder, this clicks on. So what makes an embossing folder, this part is raised. So actually that part needs to go over here. Right? Nope, it needs to go over here. I was right. And this part is sunken down. So it kind of clicks into place. Yeah, there we go. So you put your folder in there with your paper. You put your folder in there. Listen to me. You put your paper in there on the folder. It embosses it. It cuts it out all at the same time. And it's okay to put it through your machine like that. It doesn't tear up your machine. Here, I'll show you. Let me, do I have a, see if I have a scrap piece. I told you we were going to go longer than an hour. But I just want you guys to see all the things that these cool dies do and the tips and tricks for organizing. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I've got my die already in there. I'm gonna put this in here like this. I need different plates. One moment, please. I had my magnetic plate and that's not what I need. Okay. Let's see. And these are thicker dies. So let me turn that. Depending on the thickness of your die, you have to use different tabs. So let me, this one should be the right, yeah, okay. Can you guys see that? It does not damage the folder at all. You can't even tell that there was a die in there. They're made to do this. So now I could emboss, cut out one with a different color. Say I use a red and a yellow, and then I can pop those different colors in here, and there's all sorts of different things that you can do. So versatile. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Well, goodness, okay. I was trying to put my plate back up, and sometimes after my lives, guys, my desk is a mess. So I'm trying to stay semi-organized as I go through this. But that one again is the Sunrise Sailing, and I can't wait. I see so many things, so many possibilities with that. My brain just overload. Okay. Great Masculine set. Showed you those. Here's another online exclusive. This is called Peekaboo Forest, and these little characters are meant to fit inside this tree trunk. They're peeking out, Peekaboo Forest. But again, and I haven't done the stamps to this, all I've done is put the dies in here. This die right here and this die right here, these leaves, are what sold me on this, because again, Stampin' Up has come such a long way with the dies. My friend posted a photo of a card she's already made using this Stampin' die set. It was so stinking cute, Chris. I was like, what? Wait a second. Okay. So you can imagine, you know, you cut a big part of the tree, and then inside the round bubbly part of the tree, you've got a whole bunch of these little leaf pieces, right? I forgot to put my shim, so let's see how well that cut without my shim. It cut good. Look. You just have these little clusters of little leaves that you can pop up and make your tree now three-dimensional. So much depth and dimension. So if you can imagine this whole top of your tree, and then just, you know, this, you know, it brings that tree, that stamp to life. And see, then I could come back here and I could do another one here and another one over here. You guys get the idea. But that's my whole top of my tree, and now my tree has dimension. Oh, love it. Love, love, love it. Okay. Put those back in there before I lose them. Yes, I will. Okay. See, I get so excited and I start getting out all this different stuff. Okay. Here is another embossing folder, an online exclusive. This is just a corrugated, it's called the Mini Corrugated 3D Embossing Folder. I'm just gonna put this in this embossing folder and show this to you real quick. I cannot wait to use this for little caps and gowns, for the tops, the little thing around coffee cups. Do you guys see that dimension? This is going to be great. You could also use this. I could take this and take it and put it in my little trimmer. And now I've got my own, that didn't really cut through very well. I wasn't pushing hard enough. But I can take this and now I've got my own little pieces of paper that I can use in my gift bags. You know how it's got that, oh, party paper or whatever, the little crinkled, you can make your own stuff for that. So I thought that was going to be a very useful embossing folder. Just a few more things left, guys. Stick with me. I know it's going to be like an hour and a half. Here was another sentiment set. This is an online exclusive. It says, Pattern of Friendship. Thank you for being the best, Betsy. Happy birthday. Thinking of you brings a smile to my face. Let's keep in touch. You bring so much joy and laughter to my life. Friends are the family you chose for yourself. So, great sentiment saying. And then this is called Sweet Jar. It's a punch and stamp bundle. So not a die and stamp bundle, but a punch. This says, happy birthday, miss you bunches, a little treat for you, sweetness, love, luck, sending a little your way. So you could do sending a little luck your way and just put luck in the middle. Sending a little love your way. And it's got a jar for hearts. We've got some shamrocks for luck. This right here, this one, and this one all go together. They make chocolate chip cookies. So you put that down, and then you put this down, and then those are your chocolate chips. It's kind of like a build-a stamp. You've got some birthday candles that you can put in there. But really, to be honest, I can't wait to make shaker cards. That's really the reason why I got it. I'm a sucker for shaker cards. I love shaker cards. I love interactive cards. And again, I haven't taken, but it's a photopolymer stamp set. And we do have some cute online exclusives, shaker bits. These are called Loose Shaker Elements. Let me see if I can get this opened without spilling it everywhere. Okay. So we've got stars in there, we have circles in there, and then we have these they almost look like cylinders. Let me see if I can hold one of these up for you guys. It almost looks like a straw. Oh, I can't. They're too small. Okay, see if that focuses in on that. I don't know if it will or not. Maybe. You guys can't even see it. It doesn't even look like there's anything there. But it does have some sparkle to it, some shine to it. Like a holographic. Anyway, it's an open-ended, it looks like a little straw. So there's a whole bunch of those in it. Hopefully that's a good. Circles, stars, a whole bunch of those. It's gonna make some cute, cute shaker cards. Okay. The last thing I think that I got, yeah, was this is called the Hole Punch Assortment, and again, it's an online exclusive. I haven't even opened this. These are mini punches. I'm just gonna tear into that. If not, we're gonna be here all day if I'm trying to be all nice and but you have 1/8 of an inch, a little bitty hole punch. These are great for tags. Here's a little tag topper where you can slide some ribbon through. So you just make your tag, and then these are the little top holes for it. So again, these were called, well, I threw the package away. Hole Punch Assortment. The last tip and trick I have for you is whenever you get your in colors, your cardstock, your inks, I always take one of my punches and I punch out a piece of paper from each one of my pieces of cardstock. I'm sorry, I'm gonna reach right in front of that camera. Good old view of my arm. Okay, so this is just a scallop punch that we had years ago. So Strawberry Slush, Timid Tiger, Cloud Cover, Darling Duckling, Secret Sea. And I go in here and I kind of put them in order. So, you know, I started with white. There's our Whisper White. Now it's basic white. Very vanilla. We have our yellows. So what I was saying, there's that Daffodil Delight. Our Darling Duckling has more of a green to it. It reminds me of, hopefully I have it in here. Yeah, I think I do. Here we go. Summer Starfruit. It's not as dark, but you can see the green. And so more than likely, I will come in here and I'll kind of figure out where this kind of fits into, you know, and I'll put this in order. And I do that for each one of my colors. This is just a hole punch that I have. It's not a Stampin' Up. It was just one that I bought from an office store years ago. I mean, this thing is so old. But I just punch that out and I put it on one of these little rings. I really need to get myself, I'm sure I have one, another ring, because this is getting really full. That way I can compare it to all the colors. And this Strawberry Slush, I didn't even need to make another one because we've had this color before. But, you know, and that way I can compare it to all of our old colors. And when you're looking at papers, your designer series paper, your pattern paper, it's really easy to pull this out and just put this up against it and see what color works well. And just a note, these little pieces, If you ever need confetti, you can make your own confetti just with a hole punch. I have a little, it's an egg tray, but that I've made little, it keeps all my little bitty punches separated that I've cut out over time. So hold on, let me grab it. It's right behind me. Ow! I've got a couple of them. I'll just grab the top one. So, like, apparently I needed some bats at one point in time. I needed some sailboats at one point in time. Here's a ghost. Let me put him over with the bats. Here's some pumpkins. Here's some little bones I made from skeletons. Looks like a star. Here was some labels that I was making, some little envelopes. I will take these and I will put these in here. And then when I need little bits and pieces like that, I just grab my little egg tray. But those make great shaker elements. Of course, you know, we always have little sequins and stuff, little shaker bits that you can use. But if you don't, just grab a hole punch and a whole bunch of cardstock and punch out some little holes, and then you keep all of that and you can put it in your shaker card that you made. Hey Sherry, how are you? I'm fixing to just sign off. You're just catching me at the very end. Did you finish your book? I saw your post this morning. It looked very nice and relaxing. I loved your coffee cup, by the way. Hide that. I really want to steal it. I need me one for myself. I'm sure you probably found it on one of your many trips to Colorado. I was going to put in there and ask, but I thought no, because it's not here local, I'm sure. Alrighty, well, that's it. That's all I've got. Those are all the tips and tricks. That's all the new product. Like I said, it's been a year and a half since I've done a room tour. Things have changed a little bit. Most of it's the same way it was, but I'll try to do a new updated version of that maybe a little later today and post that to this video so that you can see as I'm organizing my stamps and my dies, how I'm organizing that in my room. Life Unplugged is where I got my mug. Is that here locally? Or is it online? Because it was pretty. I loved it. I love the little camera. But I'll try to do an updated version of that and let you guys know so that this video today, as I was organizing and showing the tips and tricks, will make a little bit more sense on how I store it in my room. Anyway, if you guys have any questions or comments from me or for me, let me know. I know this video is a little long, so an hour and a half. Life Unplugged is where I got my mug. No. What do you mean by no, Sherry? No what? It's not here locally. That's what you mean. Online. I love their trees and part of sales go to charity. Ah, okay. Okay. I'll go online and check them out. It was a very pretty mug. I could just see you outside listening to your birds and reading your book, and it was nice and probably a little chilly, and you looked all comfy and cozy. I was a little jelly. All right. I hope you guys have a great week. Next weekend, yeah, I'm gonna do a graduation card. I could show you new product, but you can't get it quite yet, so I hate to show you stuff that you can't buy. So graduation time is amongst us, and I love to make these. Let me grab, hold on. Beep, beep. Intermission. Grab it off my clip thing if I can and not destroy it. Good gracious. I just about destroyed it. My upline, Rhonda Griffin, she showed us how to make these years ago. And so I think I'm just going to do a video and show you guys how to do a little cap and gown graduation card. And this is a very simple one. This is just one I did for my son. But they're very easy to make and they fit in the little A2 envelope cards. So very easy to mail. And you don't have to put a tassel like this on it. In fact, one of our, I think it was in the birthday celebrations, a die that they have, it came with this wildflower birthday. So it's in our current catalog, I believe. Hold on, let me grab. No, it's in the spring catalog. That's what, okay, so our current spring catalog, this one right here. Let me, hold on. I don't know what page. Wildflower. Am I thinking, birthday? Okay, page 43. I was like, am I thinking the right thing? This die set right here has a great tassel on it that's flat. That looks great on these types of cards. So if you need a flat one and you've got this die set, that makes the perfect little flat tassel. But I'm going to show you guys how to make a graduation card next week, for the Facebook Live. And then the next Saturday after, we'll be able to do a walkthrough of the new catalog. I'll be able to show you the inside of it. So I hope you guys have a great week. Sorry that you're jumping on at the very end, Sherry. Go back and watch the replay. I want to know all the new stuff that you got. So anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.